Assassin's Creed Shadows might finally perfect the gameplay formula, making it one of the most ambitious entries in the series. Ubisoft Quebec recently revealed new details during a Reddit AMA showing just how much they're listening to fan feedback. But what exactly makes Shadows so promising? Let me explain. First up, let's talk about the freedom to choose between Naoe and Yasuke. We can pick either protagonist for the story mode or open world exploration and play most of the game as them. Both have unique skills and storylines, but some activities will require a specific character due to their specialized abilities. This setup gives players plenty of flexibility in tackling quests. But what about the story and dialogue choices? We'll dive into that later. Dynamic worlds reacting to players' actions are the heart of open world games, and Shadows delivers on that front with its revamped wanted system. If you were a fan of Odyssey's Bounty Hunters or Mirage's notoriety mechanic, you'd be happy to hear that Shadows take them further with the wanted system. But how does it work exactly? Let me explain this with an example. Imagine sneaking into a castle and getting caught. The guards will naturally sound the alarm, and this will trigger the arrival of a new enemy archetype known as the Guardians. The Guardians will hunt you down in that specific province, making life harder for you. However, there will be multiple ways to handle this situation. For instance, you can avoid the Guardians, deploy scouts to remove the alert, wait for the season to end, or switch protagonist to one that hasn't activated this state. Combat has also evolved with new mechanics like posture attacks and smarter enemy AI, making encounters more intense and challenging. Each protagonist approaches combat differently. While Naoe will thrive in one-on-one combat, Yasuke can take multiple enemies at once. I've covered the combat changes extensively in another video, and you can check it from the link above. Oh, and while we're on the topic of combat, say goodbye to the lazy snakes from previous games, since Shadows ditches them entirely. No more sudden snake attacks while exploring dungeons. Requiescat in pace, dear snakes, you will be missed. The player's base makes a return in Shadows, evolving from Valhalla's settlement mechanic to what is known as the Hideout system. In Shadows, we can design our base of operations from scratch, adding fences, ponds, trees, roads, and more, with each upgrade providing gameplay benefits. So upgrading the Hideout isn't just cosmetic. Pets, allies, and other discoveries from travels will end up in the Hideout, making it more personal and dynamic than ever before. Speaking of allies, they will also play a big role in Shadows through a refined recruit system. Each recruit comes with unique stories and skills that will massively impact gameplay. Take Yasuke for example. He's not the stealthiest character, but with the help of a shinobi recruit, he can clear paths silently and tackle challenges his way. Exploration has also seen some changes, particularly when it comes to looting gear. While we will still find specific gear items inside chests, special enemies now drop unique gear too, and according to developers, they might have some of the best items in the game as well. Other than discovering armor throughout the world and in places like castles, we can also buy them from merchants. Also, seasons are triggered over time, and while in some cases they're story related, they generally have two steps that showcase their evolution through time. However, something that might disappoint you is that we cannot meditate to skip time anymore. Therefore, we've lost control over the time of day. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Where are the cities in Shadows? Ubisoft's marketing, which I've been criticizing lately, hasn't highlighted cities much, but thanks to developers' confirmation and of course based on the game's artwork, we know that they're here. The map features 9 provinces with diverse environments like mountains, farmlands, and castles, and in terms of scale it's comparable to AC Origins. But cities like Osaka and Kyoto are also featured prominently, and they're critical to at least one key gameplay element, which is parkour. Parkour takes center stage in these urban areas, letting players run across rooftops, swing over gaps by attaching a grappling hook to trees, and explore in ways that feel more dynamic than ever. Parkour enthusiasts will be thrilled to hear that the back eject makes a return, enabling advanced parkour techniques. There will also be puzzle platforming sections with hidden trails and underground caves to further utilize Naoe's skills. But temper your expectations. This isn't Unity. Japan's architecture during this era didn't feature tall buildings, so don't expect any complex city design. However, the game still emphasizes on verticality with an updated parkour up and down mechanic. For now, that's all we know about parkour, but Ubisoft has promised a deeper look at it in an upcoming article. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the future of Assassin's Creed. Beyond parkour, Shadows breathes new life into exploration with dynamic world elements. For instance, factions will clash in some provinces and some will be more powerful than the others. Encountering them won't just present unique challenge, they'll also offer varied loot, adding depth to exploration. Additionally, new camps may appear along roads where none existed before, adding a little bit of procedural generation elements to the exploration as well. All of these new changes make me wonder, do the outcome of our choices shape the world around us in Shadows? While decisions will have both short and long-term outcomes, like who we recruit or how we build relationships, the game will ultimately feature only one canon ending. What truly matters is how we reach that ending and who stands by our side along the way. To complement this, Ubisoft is introducing a canon mode for the first time in the series. Enabling this mode turns off decision making and follows the intended storyline, and it can be toggled on or off at any point. It's a great addition for players who prefer a straightforward narrative experience. As for the story length, Shadows falls somewhere between Odyssey and Valhalla, so expect a lengthy journey. Personally, I'm all for it, since I love immersing myself in these worlds and experiencing everything they have to offer. While details about the story remains sparse, Ubisoft has confirmed the inclusion of legendary figures like Hattori Hanzo. We don't know his role yet, but it will be fascinating to see how he interacts with the world of assassins. Additionally, all of our discoveries will be documented in codex entries, allowing players to dive deeper into the history of characters and the world. With the codex and database confirmed, a big question remains. Will Shadows include a modern-day storyline? Modern day has always been a core element of Assassin's Creed, reaching new heights in Valhalla before being scaled back significantly in Mirage. In Shadows, there will be a limited modern day section primarily to introduce a broader storyline in the Animus hub. As for Basim, if you're wondering whether he will appear in the modern day storyline, I have to disappoint you. Ubisoft has confirmed that Basim won't be a part of the story, at least for now. However, this decision raises plenty of questions, and I'll be diving into the significance of the modern day storyline to the series and Basim's potential future in an upcoming video. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Beyond the core gameplay mechanics, Shadows offers plenty of options to customize the experience. Players will be able to play the game entirely in Japanese, tweak HUD, camera settings, and more. However, some features will be missing at launch, like the option to turn off the assassination animation for key targets or a permadeath mode, which Ubisoft may introduce in future updates, although they didn't confirm anything. On a brighter note, a much more advanced photo mode is coming too. While the specifics are still under wraps, I expect modern features like full control over character poses, time of day, additional light sources, and the ability to add items to a scene. If Ubisoft delivers on this, it would be a dream come true for photo mode enthusiasts like me. Every point we've discussed so far just shows how important Shadows' delay was. Early marketing footage left much to be desired. Animations were inconsistent, combat felt clunky, and parkour seemed outright broken in some clips. But this 3 months delay has given Ubisoft the time they needed to polish these issues and balance the game to hopefully deliver a more complete experience at launch, unlike some of their recent releases. Not only does the delay allow for major improvements, but it also ensures that Shadows feels like the most feature-complete Assassin's Creed game to date. Sure, some fans might miss features like social stealth, but honestly the revamped stealth mechanics make up for its absence. Returning features have also been upgraded to feel less like mere nostalgia and more like the natural evolution fans have been asking for. I genuinely appreciate this direction, especially since blind nostalgia was one of my biggest criticisms of Assassin's Creed Mirage. There are still several unanswered questions about the game, such as how fast will horses move through cities, will there be mini-games, how will level scaling work, and what else can we expect? Regardless, I truly believe Assassin's Creed Shadows has the potential to perfect the series formula. But what about you? Are these new and returning features exciting for you, or would you have preferred something different? Let me know in the comments below.